This is Lady Myya. I am back, y'all, with another podcast. Okay, so listen, I got somebody here that is going to blow your mind. Let me tell you why. Okay, so her name is Maria Romano, okay? And so her business is called True Love Knots. She's the founder of True Love Knots. She has a story, y'all, and it's going to be absolutely excellent. You got to stay. You got to just listen, okay? I'm telling you. The first 10 minutes, you're going to get sucked in, and that's it. But definitely, thank you so much, Mayan Tribe, for always being a great support. And Miss Maria, thank you so much for your time and effort and your energies. Thank you. And please say hello to my Mayan Tribe.
Hi, Maya Tribe. This is Maria from True Love Knots. My tribe says hi to you guys.
She's a wonderful person. All right. So we need the tea. The tea is you got to tell us how you even got involved in something like this.
Well, I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. How's that? Okay. I was in the rent-a-car industry for many, many years, and we sold our company. And I realized I needed to do something when we sold it. And I went to actually a wedding ceremony in Las Vegas, and I saw a woman performing wedding ceremony. So that I said I can do that. So that's how I became a minister. I started marrying people around Las Vegas. So with that, and I've probably done over 3,000 wedding ceremonies the past 11 years, meeting people, Maya, from all walks of life, all ages, and they meet all different ways, a lot of them online. However, from there, in 2008, my husband of 33 years passed away. And right there I was, a widow, and I'll never forget, it was if my everything had died, especially if you've been involved with somebody for many, many years. And you have a journey you started together, right? You started this plan. You might have raised children, puppies, and kittens. And now you're at a point in life where you're ready to travel and do things as much as you can amidst of everything going on. And I felt like my world had crumbled. From there, I started picking up the pieces, and I decided a couple of years later I was going to get back out there in the dating world. Well, let me tell you something. That was very interesting because having been out of it for 35 years total, okay, and the advice I got was from all my married friends, okay,
Of
it
course.
was, it was right. What did they know? And you're not going to ask your kids. Just like we're talking about your mom's not going to ask her children.
No.
So you so I decided, okay, I'm going to get myself out there in the dating world. So of course, being I was in my late 50s at the time, and I figured I can do this by myself, right? I mean, I'm smart. I ran a company. Well, let me tell you something. It was different, and I got my rear end kicked. I got to tell you,
Mm.
I got into the dating world, and you know what? It was not easy. It's not easy because you have to realize you're going to meet people, all different types of people, and not everybody is unfortunately going to be honest, or they're too honest, right? They tell you you're too old, you're this, whatever it is. So it turned out to be a very interesting journey for a few years. And actually, now when I go out on a date and I laugh and I tell people, you can do this the easy way, right? And the easy way meaning you can have me help you, coach you, and I'll get into that, or you can you can use my three questions and do it all on your own. Because what I do now is I ask three questions before I go on a date, based upon all of my experiences. My first question I'll ask is, have you ever been abducted by an alien more than once? Okay, seriously. And the next one is, have you ever been arrested and convicted for murder? Oh, yes, yes.
Mm.
That's what I've. And also, the last one is, do you or have you currently owned an AK 47? So it was challenging, needless to say, and that's when I realized that there were a lot of people just like me that didn't know what to do. And we laugh at all the my experiences, and there's no bad dates, they're just interesting stories. And that's when I realized that there was a need for coaching, but coaching somebody that you can relate to.
True. Very true. That takes a lot, that's a lot of vetting right there because, a lot of people aren't necessarily ready for the questions to really look at themselves. That's hard. For just regular people that's, you know, looking for whatever. That's interesting.
Well, it's interesting you say that because when I work with people, and even when I went through my own process, is you have to be ready to get out there and date, but you have to be over your last relationship. And sometimes it's not just a matter of a long period of time. I mean, time does heal everything, but you have to emotionally be ready and shed any of those. You might have had some bad experiences with an ex, depending upon how a relationship ended, and you need to make sure that you're ready to move forward with your next relationship and not bringing all those residuals from your last relationship. So you really need to soul search and look for the type of person you want, but also, we've changed. I mean, I was different in my 20s and 30s, 40s, and now in my 60s. My whole trajectory of life has changed. I'm still the same person. I still have my same moral values, but what I'm looking for, I'm not looking to have children, for example. Somebody younger might, right? I might be looking to travel. Somebody might be looking to be a couch potato. So you really have to do some soul searching and understanding what you want and what you're looking for, what your must haves are, and what are your deal breakers.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Wow. For you to say all that, I mean, and but we've been together for 6. But before that, it was nutso.
You're still a fledgling, you're still young in your relationship.
And I'm like, I don't understand why bother if you are just like you feel like you're I don't want to say crazy, but you're going to bring about crazy for someone else, if that makes sense, right?
Well, right. That's why you really have to know. Well, some people say my crazy matches your crazy. That's what I'm looking for, and that
That's
could
right.
very well work for some people. That's true, and that's okay. You need to bring out the best in each other and be able to tolerate each other.
Yes.
But I think you really need to, take the time and delve into who you are, and it doesn't happen overnight. And actually, COVID's given us the opportunity to really soul search. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are lonely right now that don't
Mhm.
know. They're afraid to get online. Okay, they're
Yeah.
afraid to go through that dating experience. And I think in light of everything that dating is going to really change into more online platform and video chatting, get even in the same city, and then you go to meet somebody, and which is great. And that actually, what that does is it weeds out the haves and the have-nots, because the people that are really just dabbling or not interested, or maybe they're married and they just keep,
Mm.
they don't have a picture on there and they just want to text or talk, it kind of weeds those people out. Because if somebody doesn't want to video chat with you right away or meet you, and I say video chat first, have a couple of video chat dates.
Yeah.
Okay, it's okay to do
Mhm. I think that's true. Like y'all can have a long distance relationship for now. It's gonna be okay.
right.
Because like I think it really does strengthen a lot of your foundation when you can put it to the most extreme circumstances and you can get through them together. I think that is an excellent thing.
It's true you say that, because really what we're going through right now, we're forced to get to know somebody, and going back to like the old traditional values of courtship, where you courted somebody for a while and you didn't move into that intimacy stage right away, because let's face it, COVID's the new condom. People are not going to go out there, right? Well, at least
It's
you
true.
hope it is, right? You hope it is, but But seriously, when you think about it, it's forcing people to get to know a person for who they are. Because really, at the end of the day, chemistry is okay. It's fabulous, but it doesn't last. You need to have that connection, you need to
Mm,
have bonding. And that's what's going to last.
yes. Like me and my husband are best friends. Annoying, but best friends. He
You
plays pranks on me all the
It's
time.
it's important to be best friend because you got to like
Yes.
each other.
Oh,
And I
yeah,
think that's the key thing. You have to like each other at the end
you
of the day.
do. But you have to be able to tolerate each other too. I think that is so important because before, I liked somebody, I was with them, but some of the stuff that they had going on, I couldn't tolerate. And I was just like, if I got to deal with that, we gonna have issues.
Right, right, right. No, you're right. You have to be able to because we're all not perfect.
Right,
So, your partner is going to do things that irritate you the same way you're going to do that to him or her. But it's a matter of, is that a deal breaker? More
right.
than likely, no. More than likely, no. Deal breakers are things like, are you being physically, mentally, emotionally abused, right? Is there an addiction issue? And those are deal breakers.
The single men now, like not necessarily like I guess like middle aged because I guess I'm kind of middle aged, but like maybe older, and like what are they looking for?
Well, it's interesting because I speak to people. Let's say I met a gentleman that is single. We were talking about his love life, what he's looking for, and he's 55. And you know what? He's looking for somebody to have more kids. So age has nothing to do with it, depending upon where you're at in life. Or I've met men that are in their 50s and a couple in their 60s that still have teenagers at home that are looking to find love again, but they don't want children anymore. So there's definitely a wide variety, a range of what
Mm-hmm.
people are looking for, but it works better. It works better when you're able to, and now this is not for everybody because my late husband was 12 years older than me, but this is what they say. They say the norm is, if you read everything you believe, right, is that you should have no more than an 8-year gap between you and your significant other, 8 years older, 8 years younger. And there's a lot of women that are definitely interested in younger men, and that's because some of us women do a better job taking care of ourselves. And some of these guys think they look good, but they just don't recognize that, tone does not mean you need to lose 20 pounds. Right. Oh, yes, Maya. You have no idea.
That is too funny. Like you might need to lose more. I don't know.
No, they say they're toned, and you meet them. Oh, I'm toned. I work out. Oh my gosh, you do.
Doing what? Eating?
Eating, exactly right. But if you did work out, you'd be surprised. So, I think it's just
Mm,
people, it's a shame because there are so many fabulous people out there that put
mhm,
themselves online, that just kind of throws themselves online and take pictures that they think they look good, and they're not doing themselves justice. And I try to
mhm,
tell clients and I tell people I meet, it's just like a resume. You're just not going to throw crap on a resume, right?
mhm.
You're not going
Yeah.
to show a picture of you, getting up in the morning, get out of bed, right? You're not going to show a picture of you laying by the pool. No, and these are things. This is it's the
What?
same thing. It's the
They're
same.
doing it? Oh no. I feel sorry. I feel sorry for whoever was even looking at that. That is nuts. I would not ever. Oh my gosh, no. Because okay. I got my second husband off of line. Not my now husband, but my second one.
Okay.
Nutso. That's nuts. And I'm like, and that was being nice. That's being nice. I mean, it was way worse than that, but no. He told me, tell me if you would have been interested in something like this.
Okay.
Because I'm into cars. Okay. I've always been into cars. I worked with cars, I used to sell cars and all that stuff. So he goes, yeah, babe, I'm a 68. I'm a 68 Chevy with a rebuilt engine. I said, okay, rebuilt. Okay, we like rebuilt. A classic with a rebuilt engine. I can deal with that. Yes. We got married after the first year, and it was horrible. He was very condescending all the time, and then it was weird. But you know what? I look at it like this: if I would have saw him after really seeing myself, I wouldn't have went there that way.
Well, the thing is too is that we rush into maybe getting married a little too quickly. And I think it's important to spend time. No, I know everybody's background's different, but this is what I say. You need to really live together and at least a year before you make that commitment of marriage. So if you would have lived together before you married him, then
Mhm.
you would have seen the red flags of whatever didn't work. And
That's
we're
true.
all guilty of that. We're all guilty because sometimes we're love bombed. And what happens? We fall into that trap. We're
Yes.
drinking the Kool-Aid, and
Yeah.
we have to think without, like I say, I tell guys, you have to think from the waist up and not the waist down. And sometimes for women, we think with our hearts. And what we have
Hmm.
to do is we have to emotionally, not do it. We have to think from a logical standpoint. And it takes time. This does not happen. And like you said, that was your then. This is your now. And I'm sure now, when you moved into this relationship, did you take the time? You said 6 years, right? You married one, but you've been together 5. So you've been through the ups and downs, right? The cycles.
Hmm. I think it's like everything is a chance, you know? And you can only take a chance, but you want to really, okay, first off, when you buy a car, don't you test drive? Why people don't test drive is beyond me, and I didn't test drive that one. I test drive this one. I made sure this one was going to stay around and was going to stick
You
around.
took his word for it, huh?
Yes, and he was 11 years older than me, so I guess it was kind of bound to happen, I guess, you know. But yeah, girl, I'm trying to tell you, I think if women find out that they can really value themselves first, because the last thing you want to do is look desperate. Let's not do that. We're not doing desperation, because desperation will get you in a world of hurt. I'm speaking for myself. I don't want that for y'all.
It's
Don't do it.
right. And anybody that's listening out there, that is so true. First of all, you have to remember you are the prize. Always remember that you are your most valuable asset, and there's nobody else in the world like you. And that's the first thing. And what happens is we're in a society where social media is so prevalent, as we all know. We're all checking, and we see people, they're living their best lives, and they're with their spouses, their partners, and we're looking for that. We're thinking, oh my God, we long for that. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to find a partner, but you really want to find the right partner and not rush into it. So what happens, like Maya, is a lot of younger people, their biological clock is going. And you've met many women where they'll say, oh my God, and even men that'll say, I want to meet somebody right away because I don't want to be too old as a parent. So I've got, and they're rushing. And are you making the right decision? And then what happens is, okay, so life goes on. Maybe you're staying together, maybe you're divorced. So then you're back out there in the dating world in your 50s and 60s. And then you say to yourself, oh my God, my mortality clock, I can die soon. I better rush and find somebody. No, that's when you take your time, and that's what it's about. Fall in love with yourself, be who you are, and then that way, and make sure that you always remember you are the prize. And that
Mm,
way, not being desperate, and you're going to attract somebody when you have that mindset.
that is very true. I didn't, when I met my husband, I wasn't looking for nobody. I wasn't looking, he wasn't looking, and he turned into my shop
See?
and was like, I don't even come to this shop. and he came to that shop afterwards all the time. I think, when we put value on ourselves, then and only then will everybody else see the value in you as well.
Right. That's true. We have to never lower our stock. So
Yeah.
I think that's the key thing is never lower your stock.
No, don't do that. That's not good. So, like, okay, so with your people and how everybody's working now, especially with the COVID and everything like that, like, are you finding people like ready to kind of give up, or are they more likely to try a little harder?
I find that you really have a lot of people that want to find somebody, but they want to wait until they get out there and meet people in person. And I think that's great. I don't see large crowds coming together for a while. I don't know what you're experiencing in your part of the world. I know here in Las Vegas, our numbers are rising. I think we're going to roll back. Not that we're going to close or anything like that, but I think the amount of gatherings are going to be limited. And when you have that, of course, when you're in a larger gathering, you have an opportunity to meet more people for networking events. So this is what I tell people is, okay, you might be a little concerned about online, although online is one of the best ways. And with the great program and understanding you can meet quality people, but there's a lot of events on Eventbrite, on, Meetup, and you can get involved in those events online and get to meet other people. Maybe they do something, you're in an activity that you enjoy. You never know who you're going to meet.
True. I love Meetup. Meetup is so awesome. It really is.
It,
Especially I used to move around a good bit, so I never knew anybody. So I would go on Meetup and find like nice people, soul to the earth, and people that like stuff that I liked. And it
right.
was just really, really interesting. I think Meetup is like the answer for everything, really is.
I
Are
have
you
to,
doing
pardon?
are you doing any meetups up there?
Yeah, I just had a meetup last night, and I had an event called Single and How to, Manage the Holidays. So I'll probably do that again because there's a lot of people, they're lonely and they feel rejected and they don't know. And I give them some tips about what they can do, and we talk about the challenges and we talk about what they faced and what might work for them. It could also work for someone else too. And there's a lot of single parents out there, so it's kind of stressful too. You want to meet somebody, you're homeschooling now, right? And you could be working from home. There's a lot going on, a lot.
Yeah. Oh wow. I can only imagine. That's gotta be like everybody's kind of spazzing. They call you like, girl, do you know that this happened on this and they said this and this? What am I supposed to say or how am I supposed to respond? All those different
Oh my
things.
God. Yeah, I had a woman call me the other day. She says, I have met about 97 people that their profiles were not who they like. It was ridiculous, like 40 people. She attracted the wrong people, and they were either from India and they were disguised as somebody else, whatever. And I said, you're doing something wrong with your profile. So we're going to sit down and talk about it and find out there's something that she's attracting in her profile, that she's attracting those type of people that want to be taken care of, and some of them are not who they say they are. So I think it just depends again. As a woman, some of us do want to nurture and take care, but you really don't want to put that down in a profile because you're going to get a lot of
Oh,
people who are going to take advantage of you.
yes. And don't do that.
No,
No.
no, no, you don't want to do that.
No, no, no. That is interest. It's very interesting. So like, okay, so what do you do? Like, do you set up your appointments with people, or do you just kind of put them in groups or of talking to other people, or is it just more one-on-one?
It's right now it's been one-on-one, and I've had groups where we get together and talk, and I that's my goal, is to build up a larger community of groups, because I think it's important that you get to speak to men and women that are looking to date, and you never know who you're going to meet in those groups, number one. And you also might get some great information that you can share with each other and connect. And that's important as well. But some people are not comfortable in group coaching right away. They're more comfortable privately, and I understand that. And I think, what a client shares with you really has to be something that is more or less confidential. That's why I
Right.
never discuss their names, and I respect that as
Mm-hmm.
well. And then once they feel at ease and they get out there and they speak to other people, then they don't mind getting involved in a collective group.
That's what I was going to ask. I'm like, well, they eventually have to talk to other
Yeah.
people. So that is so interesting. Okay. Okay. So is there a story that has you to keep going in this love life knot?
Well, this, I guess for me, it's just a passion because I know that there are so many people that feel lonely and they feel desperate. And, I've gone through all those emotions myself. I've been in a couple of relationships. I haven't found my next great love, and I'm comfortable with that at this point in my life. But I know that there are, because of my own personal experiences, I know that there are a lot of people out there that are experiencing that, and I want to tell them that it's okay, that don't push it, don't push trying to find the right person, because you don't want to make the wrong choice, because when you do, it can cost you mentally, emotionally, financially, physically. But you have lost the most valuable commodity that you'll never ever get back, Maya. Time, and that's what's important. And it's amazing because people will spend money finding, to have their hair done at the best hairdresser, or they'll go out and tweak their golf game. And yet, when it comes to finding a coach, when it comes to love, they leave that up to chance. And that's where you need somebody that can give you an objective viewpoint. And it's not just helping you get into the dating world. What I do is I also work with you as you're in your relationship to make sure that you're not overlooking the red flags, like what you just shared with your ex, right? There were probably red flags, and had you had somebody along the way that was coaching you, that you were listening to, that gave you the best advice, you might not have, or maybe you would have, you might have refrained from that relationship, taken your time, and then walked away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I would have stayed my crazy tail right back in Texas. Oh, wow, that is interesting though. I do like that. I like the fact that you're trying to help and you're trying to give people the confidence to really talk to other people and to see about a better life,
Right.
because that's important. Um, Everybody has their own, I should say, their box or frame of thinking or different things like that. And to open that up to a
Right.
stranger is the scariest. It's the scariest thing. But I tell you, sometimes it pays off.
That's right.
Sometimes it does pay off. You just got to be patient. You just have to make sure that you are being honest with yourself and then honest with them,
That's right.
and the last thing you want is things you don't want. Those deal breakers. Listen. She said it. Red flag, deal breaker, run. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. So I said, okay, that sounds like a plan to me. Definitely. So, Miss Maria, if there's anything you would love to say to my Mayan tribe, the floor is yours.
Yes, well, you know what? First of all, I want to say to you, it sounds like this lady has definitely, Maya has been giving you so much information. So, and that's important that you're listening to it. And we're not just listening to it, but using the best practices that different people and their different stories. And I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to share this platform. If there's any way I can help somebody, I'm accessible. As you know, I have a book going from just one to a plus one. And the end of my book, I have my own personal email. I had given you my own personal cell phone number because you know what? I want to hear from you. If you have a question, if you're stuck, I want to see if I can help you. And it's not always about the money. It's not. It's about being helpful to help people find love and to be happy. And that's my passion.
Yes, 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 yes. So tell them how they can reach you, dear heart.
They can reach me at Maria at trueloveknots.com, and it's KNOTS on the S. And they can also call me at 702-501-4150. I am available and accessible.
Yes, you guys heard it here. You heard it here. You heard it here. Thank you so much for
Oh, you're
joining us,
welcome.
Miss Maria. You are an amazing woman, and what you want for everyone else to be happy. I think this is such a great, great opportunity, just to take advantage of what you have to offer because think about it. None of us want to be lonely.
No, no,
We don't
not at all.
want to be lonely, at the same time. And we do sometimes need a little help, just a little bit, just a little, because look at the decisions and the situations and who you chose before. Did that work out with you being in the driver's seat? Um, it may not have. And so sometimes, I will have to say we got to put some training wheels on that bike,
That's
we
true.
need
And
some.
it's always good to have another set of eyes that are objectively and not subjective. And that's the key thing. Because you could be in a relationship and you're not happy. And that's when you got to answer the question. Sometimes it's hard to make the move. So call me. Please call me.
Yes. Okay, so she gave us her information. I'll have all that below as well. You guys, I thank you so much for your time, your effort, and your energy. Also, Miss Maria, you are a phenomenal individual. I love every moment of this. This is so interesting. And so I really, really hope that your journey explodes. I really do, because it's gonna be a little while where we can really get out and do the dance floor and do all the stuff that we were so used to doing and for so long. And at the same time, you guys, this I am on Patreon now. Yay! I need just a little bit of help. And I'm ready, you guys. I'm ready. I want to put your name up here. I want to give you a thank you and a hello. And I want to, highlight you as well for anything and everything that you do. And if you ever want to be on the show, okay, all you have to do is email me. It's going to be the number 1, Lady Myya at gmail.com. That is MYYA. And you know why? Because your homegirl is special. And I will talk to you guys later.